Hey guys, welcome back to the Secure Code Review series. And in today's episode, we will be looking at one of the most common and dangerous vulnerabilities out there, SQL injection. We look at how it happens, how to detect it, why it's a problem, and most importantly, how to fix it. I have my VS Code open in front of me. So let's start by looking at a simple Python script which introduces an SQL injection vulnerability. This code sets up a simple Flask web application with an endpoint /login, allows users to log in. In the code, we've initialized an example DB database using the SQLi 3 database engine. We've created a new table users with ID, username, and password columns inside it. Inside the users table, we are inserting one row of data with the username as admin and password as admin pass. Using Flask, we've defined a /login web page which is binded to the login function over here, and we are fetching the username and password parameters from either the get or post request and storing it in the username password variables. So the username and passwords which were fetched above, we are directly feeding those variables inside the select query over here. And finally, we execute this query. So if the login is successful, we get a login successful message, otherwise a login failed message. Let's see how this vulnerability can be exploited. Now let's run this code and access the web application. So Python 3 sqli.py and hit enter. It says the web server is running on localhost on port 5000. So we try to visit localhost and access localhost on port 5000. Next, if we look at the code, we have routed the login function to the /login endpoint, and we are taking username and password as parameters. So let's try to fill everything in and access the page. So /login, I've already filled this. Let's try to insert a test as username and test as password and hit enter. We see that we get a login failed message. Now say if I was an attacker and I wanted to bypass authentication using SQL injection, what I would do is I would insert admin as the username and use a single quote after that and type -- and hit enter. We see that the login was successful without even requiring the real password. Before I show you where the vulnerability exists, let me quickly go over the payload which I used. So the vulnerability basically exists on line 20 over here, where we stored an SQL query in the query variable over here. Let me zoom in. So in the select query, we have directly inserted user supplied input. This means that an attacker can manipulate the input to provide malicious SQL payloads as the input, like how we did. So in our case, we provided admin as the username. After that, we gave it a single quote followed by two hyphens. So let's copy this query over here and paste it below this payload. Now say instead of username, we use admin, we had given a single quote followed by two hyphens. So for those of you who don't know, in SQL, double hyphen usually indicate a comment. So in our case, after the single quote, we gave it two hyphens, which basically told the SQL engine that anything after the double hyphen would be commented out. So this will comment out the rest of the query, allowing the attacker to log in as the admin without the password. During a secure code review, when you have the code base and if you're looking for SQL injection vulnerabilities, you can search for keywords like select, insert, from, etc., which could help you point out that there is an SQL query written in the code base, and you can manually go over the code and see if the user supplied input is being fed directly to the SQL query. So to fix this issue, we would be using something called as parameterized queries. So I have another file over here which has basically the same logic, but if we scroll down and look at SQL query on line 20, we notice that instead of directly feeding the username and password in the SQL query, we've used a question mark as a placeholder, and on line 22, we have executed the query by providing the query variable which contains the query along with the username and password separately. So this approach is called parameterized queries. Parameterized queries allow us to safely insert user input into an SQL query. So simply put, parameterized queries prevents user input from being interpreted as part of the SQL command itself. Parameterized query input parameters are binded. So binded parameters are considered as plain text instead of SQL statement. So now let's run this web application where the SQL injection is fixed and see if our payload still works. So again, Python 3, and the name of the file is sqli-fix.py. Go to the /login endpoint. Let's try test and test. As expected, the login has failed. Let's try the same old payload again. Admin, single quote, hyphen, and we hit enter. Now we notice that the SQL injection vulnerability is fixed and this payload doesn't work anymore because this input over here is being treated as data and not as code because of the parameterized queries which we had set. So that's it for today's episode. We saw how SQL injection vulnerability arises in code, how to fix it, and most importantly, how to identify it during a secure code review assessment. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will come out next Saturday. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like on this video. Make sure you hit the bell icon to not miss the next video, which will cover a very serious server-side vulnerability as well. Both these code snippets can be found on my GitHub. The link is in the description. Feel free to go over the code on your own. And finally, don't forget to join our Discord and follow me on Twitter. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.